Hi everyone, I'm Austin Kizzies.
And I'm Ethan Rosser.
Today we are going to discuss building trust in virtual teams. Building trust in virtual teams is important because there are obstacles that occur in virtual teams that do not occur when working with people in the same office. The geographical distance or poor communication between team members can lead to distrust and anxiety, which can ultimately decrease the ability of the team to reach their goals.
So in order to mitigate these issues, we have 4 key recommendations that people trying to build trust in virtual teams should take. Firstly, to start early. Secondly, to communicate openly and in predictable intervals. Thirdly, to share and rotate power. And lastly, to facilitate personal connections among team members.
The first tip that we have is to start early and be proactive. Take advantage of the group in the early days to set the right tone by establishing clear goals and a common purpose for the group. Promote each member's strengths. Point out what each member brings to the group and clarify how their contributions complement each other and play a part in the team's overall outcome.
Our second tip is to communicate openly and on predictable intervals. Maintaining channels for continued transparent communication is the most effective way to keep a team collaborating effectively. Teams that have lacking trust tend to have unpredictable communication patterns, often with only a few members doing the majority of the communication. Scheduling regular, predictable communications between all parties involved will increase trust and reliability between team members.
The third tip that we have is to share and rotate power. In a traditional workplace, teams are usually led by single leaders. In a virtual environment, however, that type of centralized power structure is less effective. Being a leader means taking input from everyone if you don't have the right answers. The most effective leaders in virtual teams should take input from all team members when making decisions to show that team members' opinions are valued, and this will ultimately build trust.
Our fourth tip is to facilitate personal connections among team members. In an office, getting to know your coworkers is automatically built into the environment, but for distributed teams, that's not necessarily the case, and you have to be much more intentional about connecting. Relationships that extend beyond work build empathy, accountability, and eventually trust. Consider incorporating time for personal connections into team interactions. Try starting off meetings for a time with personal updates or creating a virtual water cooler space like a chat room or Facebook group to bond over shared interests. This will humanize other members on the virtual team and increase group trust. A virtual team will be much more united and invested in each other's success because of this effort. In conclusion, our 4 key points are to start early, communicate openly and on predictable intervals, share and rotate power, and facilitate personal connections among team members. Thank you for listening, and we hope that this helps you to build trust in your virtual team.